Claude just released manage agents, and I'm going to show you exactly what it means, how the agents run, what does this mean for you when you're using it in your workflows, and I'm going to make sure that you understand everything that they have from setup to actually setting up your own vaults to store your credentials. Just before you get started, you need to come to platform.claude.com, and under workspaces, you will see managed agents. So very simply, once you come here, the link will be in the description. You can just click on manage agents and you can land up here. Again, it's going to be part of the whole Claude ecosystem. So it makes sense to keep it here in a more developer specific place where people can use it to launch agents. With that, I'm going to come here and actually start by building something that is super useful to a lot of people, is to kind of convert their data from their projects and everything else into actual presentations. This is something that is super important because most people have things living in project management tools or in Excel files, and they want to convert that into presentations. So I'm going to start by describing an agent very simply from the quick start option, and I'm going to start saying I wanted to create an agent which can look into the linear dashboard and convert that into a Canva presentation deck. It should be able to understand what the issues are, create a 2-slide presentation that we can utilize to showcase to a wider audience. Now, all I need to do is actually give that particular prompt and then go ahead and press enter. After this, Claude will automatically start building the first understanding of the agent and what we need to use. You can see here, it reads linear issues, right? Again, so linear is my project management tool and automatically creates a 2-slide Canva presentation deck. As you can see here, it has also used the Canva MCP and the linear MCP to actually utilize these tools. So that means these agents can connect to tools outside the system from here. I'm just going to click on create this agent, and now it will start building and asking me to technically set up an environment. Now, environment here very simply means a single place where the agent will be living, and you can think of this as a mini computer that the agent has access to, and we can configure what is installed in that computer and also what are the things that you can change there. Now, very simply, it will start asking and checking if we want to use already an existing environment or I want to create a new one. So I'm going to create a new environment so that we can select what access this particular environment has. And it will create that and send it us to very simply say, let's go ahead and start session. Now, just before you do that, you can see that it has access to very limited networking, which means it does not have access to the full internet, and also that it only has access to limited options like Canva and linear MCPs only, not to everything else. I'm going to click on start session. And now before it starts sessions, I believe it will also ask us for giving access to our credentials. So I have already given it access to linear and Canva before, and it will technically try to see where is this stored. Just to show you this, I'm going to click on create a new vault. And once I ask it to create a new vault, it will now ask me to again give my access to Canva and linear. So I'm going to click this, click on connect, and it will automatically connect with my linear project tool. You can see it has automatically created the credential and we are logged in. Now it will probably do the same for Canva. I'm going to acknowledge this and click on connect. What I'm doing is very simply giving access to the agent to connect two different tools so that it can go ahead and use that. Now I can also change the agent prompt or anything else if needed, but right now I'm good with this and I will continue as it is. So we have the vault, we have the agents connected, and now we are ready to run this. So I'm going to just say test run, right? And it will automatically start running the agent. You can see that we get the option to actually send out the first message. I'm going to click on send, and as soon as that is sent, the agent is ready to go ahead and start running. Now what's happening here is very simply, the agent is going to run in its own environment, right? Again, and technically just do all the actions that we just told it to. So it will go ahead and read linear and finally create a presentation deck for me that I can go ahead and use as needed. Now, this would probably take a couple of minutes. So if you're doing this for the first time, just hold on. Now, the one thing that you can see while the agent is running, you can click on debug and see different options that are happening. So you can see it has gone and selected the tool, got the information from linear and has listed it here. On the transcript option is what a normal user might want to see like. So like in case you're not trying to see the agent and how it is working, you can just keep seeing this and we'll get an output. But here you can see step by step what's happening, what options and actions is the agent taking and going from there. As you can see, it has given me the option of the slides that it is going to create. I'm just going to say, go ahead and create, use any kit. I have multiple brand kits in my Canva and I'm just going to give it that away. And it will automatically now be able to take this and start running and actually building the design. So it kind of works like in a very chart-based format, But that's just like, the overlay because we are using it from here. I'll show you in a second on how we can actually use this agent and build a quick front end on top of it and trigger it from any other place also. And as you can see here, we have got the final message from the agent that the deck is live, and it has created 4 slides instead of 1, which instead of 2 actually, which it was supposed to. But the slide looks pretty nice, like, again, pretty good details. It also got the right information from the project tracker. Now, yeah, but like, again, it's good, not great, but like, again, something that we can live with. But again, just the idea that we were able to build an agent so quickly and get it ready is crazy. Now, the next step is very simply, I can click on stop session and stop this session right here. And now it will give me an option to integrate this agent with anywhere that I want. Before that, it will give me some options to change. I'm going to say that I don't want to change anything right now, but if you want to after the run and maybe make some updates, you can do that. The next step is very simply to integrate this, which simply means that we can integrate this agent anywhere that we want. Now, for that, it will give us a code, right? And we can use this code to automatically, like, copy and put this anywhere that we want. But I'm just going to show you by quickly creating a quick demo of this in using Claude code. So I'm on my Claude code. I'm just going to say create a single page application to trigger this and give me the response. And this is the complete input. I'm going to say this, bypass permissions, and let this run. Now I'm very simply going to take this code and actually run this in Claude code to create a very single page application. So we are here. I prompted this to kind of create a simple application which I can run in the web. And this you can think about this as just a way for like creating a web page which can access your agent. And that's just crazy because it can access your agent and use it as needed to trigger it from anywhere. As you can see, I've triggered the agent from a simple HTML page. And very simply, we have the session running here, right? It's automatically created and it's running normally as an agent would. The power is that you can use the agent and integrate it with apps. So you can have like a mini app as an agent, and that can be triggered using just simply an API call. Now, it does 110% cost a lot of tokens. You can see it has costed like right now 113,000 tokens, but that is completely okay. And I think it's just a good way for companies to run production agents, which they will be able to do, and kind of like, again, go from there. And the one thing that you can do is you can also switch between agent and session. So because we have our agent here, and you can see the session is now asking for an input, I can just even send out an event from here. So I can just say approved and press enter, and it will start going through the next step. So automatically I approve the timeline here because the sessions are all running on, like, you can say, online and on a container. So I don't need to actually trigger the session from here. I can just trigger it from directly inside this, and you can, like, kind of orchestrate this across. So we can see here it's going to generate as the final Claude deck, and again, you can kind of create mini apps like this which can automatically talk to your agents and also do back and forth as needed in between. And finally, the agent has been able to create the final presentation, which looks pretty cool. And given that I was able to trigger it from a single application, and we can connect it to apps, like we can connect it to anything, it's great. But now let's actually start going deep into different options that are available here. We worked with the quick start very, very simply. You can describe your agent on how you want to build it. You can also look at some templates that are available here. So you can look at, like, them and learn how they have written that as an example, and just describe whatever agent you want and go ahead and start creating this. Then you have the agents. You can see there are multiple agents that I've created, right? Again, and we have been, like, again, just testing this for quite some time. So you can create these agents, use them as needed. Again, you can also choose the model for them in case you want to edit any one of them. Just click on it, click on edit, and you will be able to edit it right from here. In case you want to edit it using AI, just start with this and click on guided edit, and it will take you back to a Claude style setup where you can ask it to fix it, find different things, improve the prompt, and everything else. And you can do this with every agent. You can also preview the agent and kind of run this right from here. In sessions, this is where all your agent conversations kind of are stored. So think about this as your chart histories that are available, right? Again, this is that. So for every agent, you can see there are multiple sessions. Now this will keep filling up, like, again, you'll have multiple sessions running all the time, but you can, like, also, like, kind of archive them by clicking on archive session, and they will go away from this history. So if I just simply archive an old session and click on archive, that will just go away from here. And it's okay to keep it clean, but also you should not care much about it. It's just histories of your sessions, and unless you want to go ahead and review them. Environments, are, again, very simply, you can think about them as mini computers that are dedicated to the agent. So for every agent, you can have a separate environment, or you can have a single environment for all different kind of agents. So maybe for social media, you might want to have a single environment which has all your social media agents and everything else, and it is completely up to you. You can also click here and edit the environment. So if I just double click on this, you can edit the environment and give it access to different things. So you can see here we have given it access to different tools. You can give it unrestricted access to the internet or limited access. You can also install packages like Python packages or something like that, and also add different values as in case you want to store them. So again, you can edit it as they want. You can also change the name and save it. Now, the final and the most important part of this is actually credential vaults. This is where all your credentials are stored. So all your MCP servers that you're linking together are kind of stored in a vault. So a single vault can be referred by an agent. So think about this as like a box that your agent can refer for selecting specific keys. So your API keys are stored in a vault, kind of like that. So you can see I have different vaults. I can click on this vault to show you what's inside it. We have a Canva MCP and a linear MCP that is connected. I can add more credentials and select from different options here and kind of give this access to any agent that I need. Again, the idea very simply here is that the agents will automatically start getting access to different tools that we have here, and if you have given an agent an access to a particular vault, they will have access to all the tools that are within that particular vault in a single place. Yeah, but with that, now you understand how can you build, manage agents and also launch them in using an interface. Have fun with it, and if you enjoyed the video, please hit the subscribe button and also like the video. It really helps you out a lot, and I would love to see you in the next one.